So, to give you a little context today, my name is Eric Smith. I'm 26 years old, and I'm from a small community about an hour north of here named Claymont, Delaware. And when I was invited to speak today, I was extremely excited because, quite frankly, I couldn't believe it. And then about 1 second after my excitement wore off, I was extremely overwhelmed because, quite frankly, I couldn't believe it. And it took me a little bit to figure out what I could possibly share with all of you today, but then something came to mind. And it's actually something that I'm using right now. It's something that we could all use in our lives because without it, we give up, we stand still, and we never have a chance to succeed. But with it, we overcome, we march forward, and success becomes closer than ever. It's something Dr. King had when he inspired millions of people to come together as equals. Maya Angelou needed it to find her voice and then used it to spread her voice around the world. Nelson Mandela kept it for 27 years while he was in prison and then continued to keep it as he became president of South Africa. But what is it? What gives people the power to continue moving forward even after they stumble? What gives people the power to never give up, regardless of the situation? Faith. Now, I know, faith isn't a new idea, but it's definitely an idea worth spreading. See, faith gets people back on their feet. It gives them a reason to live. Faith reminds us to move on. It reminds us that we're resilient and that better days are on the way. There's faith in family, there's faith in God, but the most important form of faith, the purest form of faith, is faith in ourselves. Now, most of us here can agree that having faith in ourselves is critically important. Yet there are so many of us that spend more time being our own worst enemy instead of having faith in ourselves and being our own best friend. But why is that? Is it because we're told that we're not smart enough or talented enough? Is it because we're taught to believe in the system more than we're taught to believe in ourselves? Regardless of the reason, we have to move on. We have to change because faith gives us power. We can see it, we can feel it, and we can use it to become the people that we've always wanted to be. Now, when I was younger, faith in myself was all I knew. I thought that I was the fastest, I thought that I was the smartest, and I knew that I was the most adorable. And I mean the most adorable. But keeping faith was easy then because life was so simple. As time went on and I got older and older, I began to lose that faith. And I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe it was an accumulation of everything. But as I began to lose that faith, I began to lose myself. Now, some of you may know what it feels like to lose faith in yourself. But for those of you who are lucky enough to never falter in that way, let me try to explain. Losing faith in yourself is like drowning above water. You don't know how it's happening, but it is. And if you don't do anything about it, you'll drown just like everyone else. See, that was a feeling that I was extremely afraid of. I was already tired of feeling hopeless. I was already tired of giving up. I was tired of standing still and being in the same exact place that I was just a year before. I knew that I needed to change. And I knew that if I wanted to change, then I needed to find my faith again. I remembered reading once that the easiest way to find your faith is to start doing things you believe in. I thought to myself, there's no way that it could be that easy. But I sat down at the table, I started writing out everything I believed in, and at the top of the list was helping others. So that's where I started. I started to help my less fortunate friends, and with the help of my best friend, we started a group named the Charity Company, and I never looked back. See, I knew that if I wanted to change and if I wanted to regain my faith, then I needed to commit to becoming the best person that I could be. I needed to ignore the doubt. I needed to remember that regardless of what anyone else said, that I had the faith to believe in myself. I had the faith to change. I had the faith to become anyone that I wanted to be. And although I had no real experience helping my neighbors, and although I didn't have much money to make it happen at first, something amazing happened. What happened was my faith started guiding me. My faith reminded me that it's okay to make mistakes because that's how we learn. My faith reminded me that I will never, ever, ever, ever be perfect simply because there's no such thing as perfection. My faith reminded me that I love myself and I love my neighbors because deep, deep down, I truly, truly do. Now, if you fast forward about 12 months later, the group that we started out of pure faith alone had given back over 17,000 books and school supplies and clothing and food and gifts to the people in our community that needed it most. But you see, that's how faith works. When you have faith and you find faith, extraordinary things happen. You start to see things for what they are. That's not a rock in your path, it's a stepping stone. You start to dismiss everything that doesn't matter because you realize that you matter more. Faith gives you power. You can use it to become anyone that you want it to be. So as I'm up here today, and I'll admit I was extremely nervous to stand here in front of you all, but something came over me once again, and it was my faith. The faith that everything was going to be okay, that tomorrow will bring a new day that I can conquer, and it's going to be okay tomorrow as well. And if I could share anything with you today, if you take anything from the message I'm trying to spread to you all, is that as soon as you leave here, or even as you sit in your seats today, find your faith. Whatever it is that moves you forward, whatever it is you have full confidence in, full faith in, whatever it is that you truly believe in, find it and capture it. Because I promise you, once you find that faith, once you have whatever that will move you forward, your life will change forever. Thank you.